Hey everyone, it's me again. Yes, I haven't been posting for a couple of days. I've just been really busy and whatnot. So I'm gonna be posting twice today to make up for it. Okay. This first story is called Lifeguard Won't Let Me Back into the Beach because my daughter didn't have a top. Maybe 1.5 weeks ago, my kid, a 2-year-old daughter and 3-year-old son went hiking. We followed paths that went very deep into a forest, and we came across a little beach type of place. It's really small, and there were maybe 10 people there. From 8 a.m. to 2 p.m., there's a lifeguard, although he labeled himself as security there since it belongs to the city's regional parks and otherwise it is unsupervised. Obviously, we had just come from hiking. I didn't have the kids' swimsuit, so when they asked me if they could go in the water, I said I see. When we got closer, and I saw that it didn't go deeper than my 2-year-old's stomach for a good 6 meters, I told myself I would pull up my pants and go 2 to 3 meters in and watch the kids run there. So I agreed to let them in and told them to remove their shirts and pants, only keep their undies, and to jump in, which they gladly did. They were playing in the water for about 3 minutes when the lifeguard comes by and asks me if my daughter has a top. I told him quickly that this wasn't planned, that her swimsuit does have a top, but that I didn't have it with me. He replied something about it not being a nudist or topless beach and that she needed a top, so that maybe I could put her shirt on. I wasn't entirely sure that he was kidding or not. I mean, he was really young looking, 16 to 18, and he was dressed in baggy shorts and long t-shirt. Definitely not ready to jump in the water if someone drowns. I don't know. I thought it might have been a joke, so I asked him, really? He said, yes, really. So I got worked up and told him, what does my daughter's chest have that my son doesn't? So I said, well, women have breasts. To reply, yes, women do once they reach puberty. Right now, she's just a little girl with nipples. Everyone has nipples, boy or girl. He looked at me and just said, okay, she cannot stay in the beach like that. At that point, I was really pissed. Probably to the point where I couldn't even watch him properly in the water. So I told him that we're going to get going after a bit, but Mommy, I want to play. We got dressed and going. I didn't go back for a while since there's also another beach nearby, but further and much busier. But then we went hiking yesterday because asked if we could stop by the beach. I mean, this time around I decided to plan ahead to bring the swimwear. Both have shorts and t-shirts, shirt style, as well as mine. We got there, the kids had their swimwear on already, and they just took out their shoes and socks and jumped in the beach. I was taking off my dress when the same lifeguard came by. He said that he spoke to his manager and that we weren't allowed on the beach, that they take child pornography very seriously. Again, I thought he was kidding. So he said, what the hell? So I told him, you better be kidding. And he said, please don't make me call for backup. Now, there were like 5 people at the beach. They were all staring, and even the kids weren't even in the water and just wondering why Mommy was getting upset. My 3-year-old even asked, Mommy, do we have to go again? And it just made me feel really upset. And I asked her in a calming voice, can I please have the number of your manager and his name? He said he didn't have it on him. And I told him that I'd go ahead and wait while he called him. So I got undressed and went into the water to watch the kids. What he ended up doing was to call the other security people, 3, who were also 16, 18, looking obviously summer jobs, and they told me that I had to leave or that they would have to escort me out of the park. My kids didn't need that type of stress. I didn't want to argue, so I politely asked for the manager's number again, and one of the guys said, I am the manager, and I just asked you to leave. So we got dressed and left. Today, 24 hours later, I'm definitely upset. We are in July. It's nice outside. The beach is at is 25 minutes from our house. It's not busy, and yet I cannot go there for a really stupid reason. I feel like I cannot deal with it, and except writing to the newspaper or sometime media, I have no idea what to do. My husband says to just go there after 2 p.m. We have gone as a family later at night where no one's around. But I think it's completely unfair that we just can't go whenever we please. Has anyone been in this situation that could offer any advice? So I just let it go and go to the other beach that is 16 minutes away, or try to reason with someone? I actually don't think I've done anything wrong that got me and the kids banned. I just feel like I pissed off the lifeguard and that he's just getting back at me. Edit 1. Kids are napping. I decided to contact the city's council since they really can't find the number of the park's direction. I'm on hold. Edit 2. Okay, I called. I got transferred to the sweet lady who took my call very seriously, who was super professional about it. She was in total disbelief and just couldn't believe that they would have asked a mom and her 2 kids to leave because of that. She asked me over and over if I had any alcohol with me, if my daughter was 20, not 2, and if I was topless myself. She also kept apologizing and said, "I'm so sorry. This is just crazy. I don't see why it wouldn't be allowed, and I don't see why you lie." She put me on hold for a good 10 minutes, and when she came back, she apologized for what happened. She says that if everything did indeed happen, like I said, they obviously want to question the security guards about that. There was obviously no reason for me to leave. She said that the security guards are actually volunteers who are required by school to volunteer, and that they don't actually have any power of asking people to leave or to dress up. So that if I wanted to, I could just go back and give them their number, the city's number, or to contact the local police and ask them to send an officer over non-urgently and not to be bothered by them. She gave me the case number too in case I need it, and she promised that she'd call me back to update me after they get a hold of the lifeguards and tell me what was going to happen. She ended the conversation saying that she was a grandmother of a 4-year-old who goes to the beach topless and never thought of it as offensive. You guys are great, by the way. However, I do wish to say that I don't plan on hurting, harming, fighting, yelling, or doing any other type of damage to anyone, especially not teenagers. I also don't really plan on suing them or harass them. So while your advice is really appreciated, those are things I just will not do. Update. 2 days later, the lady called back an hour ago. We actually spoke for a while. She started by saying how the whole team who worked with her got really upset and concerned about the whole story. She said that there are not a lot of young couples and families in the city, and that they've really been trying to attract younger families, and to hear something like that happening is just counterproductive. So she apologized again and said they did some quick investigation and found some quite interesting things. Happens that one of her colleagues has a teenager son who knows these guys who went to volunteer at the national park. They go to high school together, and as part of a class, they have to complete 24 hours of volunteer work. Apparently, when the mother questioned her son about their volunteering at the beach, he said they don't really volunteer there. They mostly host parties and call it volunteering. Most of 10th graders meet there to drink and smoke. Apparently, he had just not told his mama because he didn't think they were harming anyone. And I mean, let's not forget it. This kid is 16. I probably wouldn't have called him out. I would think it's just something silly. So they sent 2 people who works for the town to check it out around 1:30 p.m. yesterday, and what they saw was crazy. Apparently, there was about 15 teenagers there, all drinking, some smoking, some topless, who apparently said they were tanning, and lots of free dogs, which isn't allowed on the whole site. She even added that there was a guy who refused to come out of the water with his girlfriend because they were both naked. It must have been a mess. The lady was telling me that on the phone, and I was laughing. She said, "Yeah, we laughed too." No crap! They didn't want us there. It was their private little beach of drinking, smoking, and effing. And Like I was super curious and almost got to be friendly, I asked her, okay, what did the two people do? Well, there's only one way to get into the beach. By a little trail after a hike, and there's only one way out. By a famous little trail. So the two town workers found the trail, blocking the way, and called the cops. The cops came with alcohol tests at CIDs, called parents to come and get their kids at the park entrance, and apparently gave them tickets for being underage and drinking. The lady also said they are in process of contacting the school to let them know how their volunteering experience worked out and how they were not dedicated to lifeguard activities. Well, that explains a lot. They just didn't want us around, and since they have time to see us coming before we get to see them, they probably also had time to hide boots and get dressed. I thought maybe it was still too early for them when we went 10ish to 11ish. Oh. The lady reassured me that they were going to request these volunteers to give me an apology, and that today there's already a new volunteer that she has been told about me and the kills, and that she cannot wait to meet us. I honestly couldn't be happy. I'm actually typing this and then getting ready to go since it's such a nice day here. Too long didn't read. Teenagers are hosting a private beach with lots of illegal things, so they didn't want us around and found excuses to kick us out. I'm really happy at how the city workers handled the whole deal. Edit. We went to the beach. The new volunteer is a really sweet teenager named Jessica. She happens to want to be a veterinarian and spend the whole time watching the kids with me and talking about pads. Wow. Yeah, like this Redditor said, what a bunch of entitled selfish idiots. They couldn't suspend their personal naked party for a half hour so mom and the kids could splash around in the water. Editor 5. The hormones are real. Yeah. They couldn't just hold off for like a half hour to an hour while the kids were splashing. They just had to be like, okay, get out! You're not supposed to be topless. You're not supposed to be topless. Get out! Speaking vodka, smoking, effing smoking until we pass out. Oh, I don't know, effing or smoking, probably both. Whichever comes to get us first. What the fudge? What the fudge did I just effing read? If this happens to my kid, if we ever get pregnant, I don't know if me and my boyfriend ever are. But if we ever do, and this is my kid, if my kid happens to be one of the, you mean one of the lifeguards or security guards or whatever of that beach, I smack him or her. Because holy hell. They did not deserve to be like that. Okay, here's another one called Came Home and Significant Other is Gone. Long-time lurker and occasional commenter of this great stuff, but using a throwaway because my paranoia is at an all-time high right now. I have a great offset, but also haven't seen the need it because my wife works all the time. We do have a great sex life, so I would be shocked if she even suspected I doing. If she even suspected I was doing what I was doing. That's why I'm losing my crap right now. I came home from work yesterday, and usually my wife gets home about 30 minutes after I do. When I realized it's getting late, I called and got no answer. I checked her room and her things are gone. She left the house completely untouched. So took all her clothes but left no note. I can't get in touch with her through phone, email. Her friends will answer. She must know, right? Which is why she went and asked me. Who finds out and just leaves? Is it possible she doesn't know and left for someone else? Small update and con. I did have great upset. I found out what happened now for a moment. One of my wife's intern works a second job at the hotel where a fair partner and I met, 3 towns away. But my wife had a picture of us on her phone screen, so she recognized me. After that, I guess she called my wife the next time we were there, and my wife stopped in to confirm, then left. What's getting to me is that this was in March. I never saw any changes in her. And I guess after writing this, my offset wasn't great. Shouldn't have stayed at the same place more than once. Finally, a day later. I had no idea this would get so much input, but it helped, and I appreciate it. I've been here a while, but this was my first time posting, and it's helped me vet and process those thinking. Also, if I'm being honest, I'm sure that the attention or engagement has helped me cope a little. I finally talked to my wife this afternoon. I've been in our house since Thursday night by myself, pretty much clueless as to what was going on until her mother, who she has very little contact with, reached out to me. I was caught. I've been caught since March. Wife texted me today saying she had intended to contact me through a lawyer and just let the divorce do the talking, but since her mother decided to contact me, she would answer any questions I had if I decided to speak to her. Clearly I did. I asked her why she stayed around after she knew, and she just lied to me like that. She said it wasn't her intention? Huh? But she said down to figure out what she needed to do regarding our relationship and herself. At the end, she said something like she realized she still loves me but doesn't respect me, and she thinks that I love her but I don't respect her either, so we should go our separate ways. She already got her job to move her to the city she's been asking me to move to for a long time now, and said she'd like to sell me her half of the house if I want it. If not, we can list it. But I guess our lawyers won't handle that paper, and still no idea if I want our house without her in it. I'm glad I talked to her, but I'm sad at how moved on she is. She did cry a little, but then stopped. I asked for therapy, and she said I should have asked for that when I realized I had impulse control issues. Huh? I've been drinking for 48 hours now, and sorry for the rant. I didn't think it's losing her that's hurting, but losing like this. Wow. Yeah, there's like, okay, extension 5008 said, your reaction to this whole scenario is ridiculous. You cheated, you got caught, you gambled and lost this one. Unfortunately, your soon-to-be ex-wife doesn't owe you any more respect or loyalty than what you've shown toward her. I think you have a lot of nerve to call her behavior sociopathic. The fact that she was immediately done without wanting to attempt reconciliation makes me think you may have not been the greatest husband yourself. It sounds like she has no reason to fight for you or your relationship. It's done. You have proven to her that you aren't the type of partner she wants, and apparently she wasn't the one for you either. Once things have settled, this would be a good time to self-reflect on what you actually want out of a relationship, and if monogamy or E&M is more your thing. Wow. So OP cheated, got caught. So OPSEC is okay. Alright. Yeah, good on the ex-wife for leaving him. And like, yeah, I mean, like, come on. She deserves to leave your cheating ass. Cause that man, like, hello, you deserve to be cheated on. I mean, you deserve to be left because you cheated on her. So, please rate, comment down below, and please click on that little bell so you get notified when I post my latest videos. And I'm going to try to do it every day, but I might get busy and something, so yeah. See you later.